Alafiani, greetings. It's the Apetibi Ilosha Ola Omi Kalatunde. I'm back because I wanted to make sure to make a very important point in that last video. And I didn't make the point. So I want to do this part 2 on it so that the point is made. I do not support the concept of corporate Ital. I do not support the new face of veganism, the new face of live foods or fresh foods, the new face of vegetarianism, the new face of eating properly. In this particular day and time, it is being made to seem, sorry, trying to just get the camera right, as though only those people who are rich can afford to eat properly. And only those people who are rich even have the right to eat properly. I wrote a piece called Corporate Ital about 3 years ago. And in that piece, I spoke of the experiences that I used to have going into Whole Foods Market in Nashville. And the Whole Foods Market in Nashville, as I guess is the case with most of the Whole Foods markets in any major city, is located in one of the more affluent areas. That being the case, not many people of color reside in that area. And so there would not be as many people of color in that Whole Foods. Now that I'm here in Atlanta, I generally go to the one on Ponce. I've been to the one in Sandy Springs, but I go to the one on Ponce de Leon most of the time. And just because it's Atlanta and there are more faces of color, it's generally full of people of color, and people of color actually work there. This was not the case in Nashville. Maybe 2 people of color work there, and I would be one of maybe 5 or 6 families of color or people of color that would be there. So there was a very strong and very obvious racist vibration within that Whole Foods. And I would always feel it. Just being in that area of town, you would feel it. But definitely once I went into the market, you know, people would stare, people would look me and my children up and down. And on one particular Saturday, and I actually did not even have all of my youth with me. I only had the 2 youngest ones. And you know, when I get up and put on my clothes, it's just me getting up, putting on my clothes, so I'm never really aware of what I have on as far as it being what's considered the norm or not the norm. But in retrospect, after I had the experience and then looked back over it to try to figure out what happened to cause it to be so acute on this particular day, well, the children had on African clothes, and I had on, I think, just a dashiki, but some regular jeans, and, you know, probably Converse or some kind of, you know, flat shoe. But on this day, not only were people stopping and staring, but there was this particular older Caucasian man that, you know, was just staring hard. I mean, it was us being there was interrupting his shopping. Like, he would have to stop what he was doing and just look at us. So at one point we went over to the salad bar because I was going to make myself a salad. And he just followed us over to the salad bar with his basket and just stood